Unfortunately, empaths attract narcissists and toxic partners like moths to a flame. And the worst part is, many empaths don't even realize that they're in a relationship with a narcissist or someone severely wounded until it's too late, meaning after they've been hurt, beaten down, or lost a ton of self-esteem. I don't want that to happen to you because in my opinion, empaths are some of the best people on the planet and the ones who are capable of the most love. I myself have healed from a narcissistic relationship and went on to attract my true soulmate, and I've helped so many women do the same. So I know firsthand that you can break the cycle and attract in something even better. And stay tuned until the end of this video where I'll share my free 5 steps to healing from narcissistic abuse audio series. Before we dive into why empaths attract narcissists, I just want to share my definition of an empath so we're on the same page. My definition of an empath is a super emotionally sensitive, sometimes intuitive being who appears to absorb the emotions of those around them or who can feel what others are feeling as if it's their own feelings. Now, here's reason number 1 that empaths attract narcissists. You lack confidence in your true self and you're afraid to own how big the light and potential really is inside of you. Many empaths are afraid to fully own their potential because they have absorbed the real or imagined jealousies of others. Or they feel really bad about shining and potentially making others feel bad. So they often have lower self-confidence, they deny their own potential, and they subconsciously attract relationships with people who appear to have a lot of confidence and potential because it's easier to focus on someone else than to face your own fears of shining. Now, most narcissists project an air of extreme self-confidence, and they can often seem larger than life or have grandiose dreams, which is attractive to the empath who subconsciously feels that if they can get a confident person to like them, then they will finally feel worthy and confident within themselves. Of course, this is all a farce, as deep within the narcissist is incredibly insecure, but empaths often fall for the projection of a narcissist just like everyone else does. When you've spent a lifetime as an empath absorbing and managing the feelings of others, it can feel really hard to feel confident because you're so bogged down with other people's junk that you have a hard time connecting to your own light. This makes you easy prey for a narcissist because a narcissist is looking for someone that they can first adore and put on a pedestal and then discard and diminish. So empaths often feel great when they first meet a narcissist because they love the love bombing stage where it seems as if someone is finally seeing the light that they hope to be true about themselves, but they haven't owned yet. The empath wants to feel as good and worthy about themselves as the initial adoring words of the narcissist make them feel. They want to feel like they have as much potential within them as the narcissist seems to see in them at the beginning, but the truth is, they don't yet. So when the narcissist or the toxic person changes their behavior and starts to be mean or critical or harmful, the empath feels deep down that maybe the narcissist is seeing the awful truth about them. They start to feel like, okay, maybe I'm not really that great. Maybe I don't really have the potential. Maybe my deepest fears and insecurities really are true, since this person seemed to love me in the beginning and now they're saying that I'm not that great. It's this tension between what the empath hopes to be true about themselves, but what they secretly fear is true, that keeps them hooked to a narcissist. And the empath keeps wanting the narcissist to go back to the adoration stage, even after the narcissist has been very hurtful to them, because they want to feel that sense of being in the light again. To the empath, it's like, oh my God, wait, you really did love me, right? You were so in love with me in the beginning. You seemed to adore me. Can you just go back to that so I can feel I'm really worthy of that? The empath will often spend years trying to make a narcissist behave better and love them in the right way. Sadly, they will also convince themselves that the narcissist really is a good person, and they'll get hooked on the story of the narcissist's potential rather than seeing the truth. This is the dynamic in the empath's mind. If I admit that the narcissist really doesn't have all the potential that I see in them, or maybe really isn't that good of a person, and that I've projected my own light onto them, the then I'll have to face the fact that I am terrified to own my inner light. So I would rather spend my time trying to win back the attention and favor of the narcissist and chase the light that I think they are holding away from me than find the light within. The narcissist does not want to be with someone that is going to surpass them in any way, because that would be too threatening to their fragile ego. They prefer to be with people that they can look down upon, or people that they can help with their guidance so they can feel superior and in charge. So if you're an empath who is afraid to go big in life, afraid to own your potential, and seriously dimming your light by focusing on the drama and distractions of other people, then this makes you easy prey for a narcissist who would rather be with someone they can feel superior to than be with a true equal or a person who is owning their power. This is why when you're with a narcissist, things can seem fine until you start to get more empowered or you go for it in the world. And then all of a sudden, the narcissist attacks you and starts to act out in crazy ways. If you're an empath who is attracted in a narcissist, what you have to realize is it was never about the narcissist, but about you. What you're really needing is to see your own potential. What you're really needing is to see how great you are. And stop being in this energy of half the time I think I'm crap and half the time I think I'm like, oh my God, I'm amazing. Why are people not seeing how amazing I am? Step fully into your greatness and self-worth, because when you're fully grounded in it, narcissists cannot hook you. Here's reason number 2 that empaths attract narcissists. You are very forgiving and understanding of the imperfections of others, but you have a really, really hard time forgiving yourself. Many empaths learned in childhood to tolerate and absorb the negative emotions of loved ones. The silent pact they made as a child was, I will witness your bad or painful behavior, and I'll decide that if I'm just perfect or if I can make your bad feelings go away, then I'll be safe, you'll love me, and I'll have what I want. As a form of protection, the child decides it's not the parents' fault. It's not the parents' fault that they're that way. It's my fault. The child learns to easily forgive the mistakes of others because that's the only way to keep the peace and feel safe. So the energy for the child becomes someone else does or says something bad or hurtful, and I will take the blame and I'll feel not good enough, and that will make the other person safe in my eyes because the bad will be with me and not them. But then I feel not good enough and I feel like I have to find ways to be perfect in order to be loved. It doesn't make logical sense, of course, but this is actually what happens. So as adults, this translates to empaths giving massive amounts of love, forgiveness, and compassion to everyone but themselves. Most empaths have a super harsh inner critic that expects them to be perfect, but when it comes to the bad behavior of others, they literally absorb it within themselves as I'm bad and wrong, and then somehow they let that behavior slide. In other words, empaths have a habit of taking over responsibility for everything around them. If something bad happens, they assume it's their fault, even if they aren't the one that did something wrong. They assume that it must be because I'm bad and wrong in some way, and that's what caused this person to treat me poorly. This makes you easy prey for a narcissist because a narcissist takes no responsibility for their behavior and actions and is always looking for someone else to blame. A narcissist cannot tolerate the emotions of feeling bad or wrong about themselves, and they're always looking to diffuse those emotions onto someone else. This is why if they do something to hurt you, they will somehow twist it around and tell you that it's your fault. The only way to break free from this cycle of attracting toxic or narcissistic people is to stop blaming yourself for other people's mistakes and stop making yourself feel bad and wrong all of the time. Do the work to dismantle your inner perfectionist, or at least stop giving it so much of a say and stop letting it tell you that you are the problem. Repeat to yourself, other people do not behave poorly because of me. I am not the cause of someone hurting me. I never was, and I never will be. There is likely major healing work to be done with your inner child who's been feeling like she's the problem for years and years and who needs your love and assurance now that she is good and worthy of being treated with respect. Once you do the work to heal within, you will likely see the truth, which is that you likely are almost always doing the right thing. This is a thing about empaths, because you're so used to caring about and considering the emotions of others around you, you almost always do the right thing. Or at the very least, you're always trying to not be hurtful to others. So the irony is often for an empath with a narcissist, you couldn't be as bad as they try and make you feel, even if you tried. And you couldn't be as bad or not good enough as your inner perfectionist makes you feel, even if you tried. So choose to see the truth about yourself. You are not bad and wrong. You're amazing. You are so good enough. It's not even funny. And you do not need to take responsibility for other people, especially not their bad behavior. Here's reason number 3 that empaths attract narcissists. You deny your own needs and boundaries, and you're afraid or unwilling to raise your standards. So often empaths are so busy managing the emotions of others or being codependent with others that they neglect to truly care for their own inner world. In fact, empaths often don't have many boundaries at all because a part of them doesn't feel they have a right to, since they've learned to fuse the lines between them and other people. Many empaths also fall into the trap of thinking that if they just love someone else enough and give all their energy to someone else, that they will somehow finally get the love that they want back. And this makes them easy prey for a narcissist who doesn't want to do the real emotional work in a relationship or focus on someone else's needs. A narcissist does not have the capacity to truly care for others because they are focused on using others to meet their own purposes. So they will often seek out empaths because on some level they know that an empath will put up with their crap and not speak up for their own needs. As an empath, it's critical that you focused first on your own inner world, your own emotions, and taking care of you. It's critical that you take the time to figure out what you need and what your actual boundaries are in relationships. The sad thing is, a lot of times empaths have to be hurt very badly by a narcissist or a toxic person in order to wake them up to realize what they actually deserve. So hear me on this. It's okay for you to have boundaries in relationships, and a partner should not try and cross them. It's okay for you to have needs, and a partner should want to meet them. It's okay for you to love yourself more than you love the person that you're in relationship with. If you've been the victim of narcissistic abuse or toxic relationships in the past, or even now, just know that the other person's behavior is not your fault. Please believe me when I tell you that you do deserve better, and it is possible for you to find it. And I have a free gift for you to start finding and attracting that better love now and healing your heart. So go to the description below to get access to my free 5-part Heal from a Toxic Ex audio series. And that's where I'm going to teach you the 5 steps to start breaking free from the narcissists and the toxic people, because you really do, I promise you, you deserve to attract in something better. Did you like this video? If so, please like it here, leave me a comment, let me know what resonated with you, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.